Okay, thank you very much, Tim and Cecilia, for joining us today. Tim is the Operations Director at Zoopla. So thank you very much for joining us. And Cecilia is from iovox. Now, Cecilia, let's start by having a chat. What exactly does iovox do?
So at iovox, we provide different businesses across a range of industries with the tools to be able to make better sense of their phone leads. So which phone leads are they generating through their website or their portal, for example. In the same way, we can also give them these tools to monitor different aspects of their business. So for example, the efficiency of their marketing campaigns, rationalizing their spends on the different marketing channels that they're using. So iovox basically works in a way similar to web-based tools like Google Analytics to give them the sense of their web traffic. iovox is doing the same for their phone traffic. And the way that we do this is through unique trackable phone numbers. So what we do is basically use these numbers to help businesses understand what happens when the interaction of the user and the company leaves the web space and goes into a phone-based interaction.
So Tim, how does Zoopla use iovox in its everyday operations?
So Simon, so at Zoopla, we match estate agents with those wanting to buy, sell and rent property, and our customers, the estate agents, pay us to do that. So how does that work? Let's use Cecilia as an example, but we need to refer to her as C to keep it GDPR compliant. So C is on the Zoopla app and she's looking for a 4-bed house in Chelsea, of course, and she sees an interesting property and she wants to find out more. She wants to find out now. So she clicks the call agent button, connects to the relevant agent in Chelsea, and they're off on their journey, chat. iovox provides us both the ability for us to connect C with the agent, as well as providing us with the data record of that call. We then use the data to inform our customers how many marketing leads we're sending them, and they continue to pay their fee. So iovox helps us prove value to our customers.
Okay. And do you get any more insights? Can you actually allow them to go online and see the calls they've made, to actually do some analysis, how long the salespeople stay on, perhaps even given the office managers greater insight to even sales efficiency?
We're looking to iovox to do 3 additional things for us. Firstly, we need to better understand the source of our phone leads. So let's take the example of C in that 4-bed property in Chelsea again. Currently, we know that C made a call to one of our Chelsea agents, and we know the time, the date, and the length of that call. If C had connected with the agents using our email agent button, then we'd also know that C was a potential buyer. She was interested in a specific property versus just doing a general Chelsea search. And in fact, she was interested in the property for sale at 34 Markham Square. Now, that's really helpful info for us as we improve C's experience on the site and we look to generate more marketing leads. And given that 50% of our marketing leads are by phone, and we can't do that today, we need iovox's help here. So our first problem we need to solve is lead attribution. The second problem we need help with is essentially lead scoring, getting closer to what you asked, which is, again, if I take you back to seeing her extremely expensive Chelsea search, we generate millions of marketing leads in any month. But when the phone rings, the agent has no idea whether C is just dreaming of that home for some distant point in the future and still needs to win the lottery to raise the deposit, or that C is in fact a cash buyer, packed up and ready to move into 34 Markham Square tomorrow. And whilst both those scenarios and those leads are valuable to an agent, clearly they require a different approach and next steps. By not knowing this, our agent invests significant time and skill to find out where C is on a property journey, and C sits on the end of the phone, wasting time around in order to get the right service from our Chelsea agent. So we also need iovox's help to better understand how close C is to buying that house in Chelsea, therefore saving time and frustration for everyone involved. And finally, again, touching on your point, we need to provide better feedback to our customers on how their people deal with our marketing leads. So again, I'm feeling bad, but it's C in 34 Markham Square. Currently, we listen and analyze a tiny fraction of those millions of calls that go through our website. And we use that insight to provide feedback to our agents management team. Did your team represent your brand well to C? Did your team collect her basic details and find out where she was on her journey? And then did they advise her correctly on the right next steps? And because C called an agent that offers a mortgage broking service, we tell them whether their team had introduced that service to C or not. We call this mystery shopping. It's genuinely valuable insight for our customers, to your point, Simon, and it helps us, helps people like C get a better service from their agent. And we've got millions of phone leads a month, and what we're doing now is just not representative of either our customer's business, the agent in Chelsea, or Zoopla users like C. And so we need to do this at scale, and we need iovox's help for that.
Right. So it sounds to me like iovox is very much an integral part of the overall mission that you've got, which is how do I provide higher quality leads, and higher quality means a better understanding of the lead, helping them grade a lead from a tire kicker to someone who's going to buy 34 Markham Place tomorrow, Markham Square tomorrow, and in addition, also providing the people who run those offices, the 15,000 or so offices there are in the United Kingdom, with better information, so that they can then become more and more efficient and effective with what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really important, all of that stuff goes to help us with our agents, but it also helps us improve the experience, develop better products, etc. So we use that data internally as well as externally for all the things that you've just outlined, Simon.
Okay, and Celia, you're working with property portals and even many other types of companies around the world. Are they all going down this same sort of journey of trying to get a better understanding and a better feeling for how they can utilize the data and information you provide to not only ensure the calls are routed properly to their customers, but in addition get much greater understanding?
Yeah, definitely. I think that there's a huge focus nowadays on the amount of data that can be extracted from a simple communication. So it's not now just a case of, oh yes, I know that I've generated X many leads for this agent or for this dealer, whatever it might be. It's what actually was happening. Were those leads really hot leads? Were they actually just people who were looky-loos, who were just interested to have a look at what the person had available? And it's far greater than just saying this is X number. It's all about quality, and that's a kind of subjective thing which needs to be evaluated, and we've got a number of ways that we can do that. And what's great is kind of having these discussions and talking to people who we work with and understanding what the issues are, what the challenges are, because at iovox, that's one of the things we really love doing, and that helps us to give bespoke solutions for the majority of our clients just by understanding what's not working so well or what's missing. And I think that, to your point, the data, the additional data, is something that we want to be able to get our partners through the telephone, medium of telephone as a contact, rather than just through web interaction. So with this in mind, we've got a few features which we'll be passing on to Zoopla to help them achieve the things that Tim was just mentioning there. And they've really come about with that aim of increasing the amount of information that we're able to provide Zoopla, along with the basic call data. So the first one is called Web Connect. It's a new little feature that allows an internet user, so in this case it would be someone looking at property listings via Zoopla, allows them to place a call to the agent via their internet browser. So there's no need to display a phone number on the page, but all of the details about the call would still be captured by iovox. Additionally, and crucially for Zoopla, you can include a number of other data points which is taken for the web page. For example, specific listing, the agent that it's advertised with, the source of the web traffic, and the user session, just as a few examples. So that's sort of web RTC, completely internet-based calling. The second sort of project that we're involved with as well is called per listing tracking. It's not a cryptic name. It basically employs a similar approach to WebRTC, but it replicates a user experience which is much more representative of a traditional phone call. So it's a dynamic solution in which iovox serves up a number that's displayed when it's prompted by the user. So the user would click to the number, or they might click to call if they were on an app. We then generate an iovox number that routes calls through to the agent in the normal way. So in addition to that, we will capture and feedback to Zoopla extra details from the web page. And one of the most important in this case being the specific listing that the user was looking at when they clicked to reveal the phone number and subsequently made the call. In turn, we can take this information from Zoopla and notify the agent who is receiving the call in real time which listing the incoming call is regarding, whether that's via an iovox whisper, so a little voice message just when they pick up the phone, or within their Zoopla Pro portal. So that's allowing Zoopla then to track per listing and have a measure of how many calls each individual listing is tracking, rather than just saying to the agent, this is how many calls we generated for you as a whole in X month or over X week. The last one is iovox Insights, which is a really cool piece of tech. It's a transcription and speech analysis software, and it applies bespoke algorithms to a call recording to detect signposts or keywords in a conversation. So it's a great way to tackle the question of the mystery shopping scenario that Tim mentioned. It means that we can basically take a recorded call and detect whether either party mentioned aspects that would answer Tim's questions about the agent's handling of the call, or the collection of the data about the caller, or information about the caller's position, whether they're ready to buy, just starting to look, not yet even got their deposit ready, etc. So what it means is it will basically save Tim and his team hours of listening into calls and allow them to process a whole load of call recordings at scale and extract the outcome from each one.
Fantastic technology, and I think when I listen to the things that you're doing, it's around at the core of it, it's around data attribution. So whether it is the web-based call, which is fantastic because we're all using Zoom way too much nowadays. Same concept: click, talk, don't have to pick up my phone. Same from on a mobile device. I don't actually have to do anything more than just press a button. But it's the attribution or the metadata you're sending along with that call that becomes quite critical. Who was looking at what, when, and how, and if that can feed into a great CRM system, then that then allows the agency to better manage that lead. Because one of the challenges we all, as we know, is that a person will pick up the phone, they'll have a phone call. If it isn't a deal that they can do right now, or maybe they're having a bad day or whatever, they're not going to necessarily do the right things with that lead. And if you can add data to the lead and have that data feed into a lead management system, then even if the call is not handled correctly, it'll get handled correctly by the AI that sits behind it. So I think how you're implementing this, whether it's through the addition of metadata or the listening through on the calls and literally looking for keywords and thus adding extra data to identify me as a real buyer, then I think that becomes a fantastic outcome. And you guys are both doing very innovative things, and that's why I think it's a perfect match. And well done. So thank you very much for taking the time to chat about how Zoopla is using the innovative technologies of iovox to help drive forward the business and provide higher quality leads to your customers. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.